Hey everybody, Joe Konkoly in the shop. Today we're going to do a little walkthrough. I haven't done that in a while. See what some of these guys are working on and just give you a general feel for what's happening in the shop today. First off, we're going to go visit Mike Hanerhoff. He is over here. Follow me. Hi Mike.
Hello.
That was good timing.
What's going on?
Not too much. Doing a little walkthrough. What's going on with you?
I'm doing a heat press on this laúd.
What is a laúd?
It's a Spanish instrument. There's actually a
12 strings in 6 courses.
That's correct. That's correct.
They're all there's no octave. It's all doubled.
It's all doubles.
Fairly short scale, a scale like maybe a octave mandolin somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's actually kind of similar to a mandolin. I think a
Okay.
little bit lower octave mandolin. Anyway, it's a little bit lower tension. This one has a lot of bow in the neck. Amongst other issues.
like this.
Yeah. And it's of course not built with a truss rod because it's a very short neck. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, pretty beefy neck too.
Wouldn't expect it.
Definitely has that classical guitar neck shape, very flat on the back side.
Yeah. So heat pressing necks is not something that I would say that we like to do as a matter of course necessarily. It's more like something that's done when other more proper techniques are not really a valid option.
So there's a bow in the neck from string tension. So that element gets placed on top of the neck with a board in between, and then there are clamps placed where you clamp it into the opposite bow. If it's carved like so, you want to clamp it in a bow like this, and that heat penetrates through that piece of wood, actually through the fingerboard, and one thing it does is it penetrates into that glue joint between the fingerboard and the neck, and it can soften that joint. And so when you clamp it into that opposite shape, and that glue then cools and re-hardens, it can help it to hold that shape, but it also influences the actual wood, on the fingerboard and the neck to hold that shape. The only, as Mike was saying, sometimes a heat press, the only concern with a heat press is how long is it going to last, because the neck has moved into that shape from string tension because it's not strong enough to hold that string tension, and we're actually not doing a whole lot to change the strength of the neck. All we're doing is moving the neck into a different shape. So another option that you could do that would accomplish a similar thing but would strengthen the neck is to do a compression refret, where you pull the frets and put a new fret in that would have a bigger tang, which is that part that goes in the slot. You would create that back bow that way and reinforce that and strengthen the whole thing. But the refret's quite a
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a repair that costs 10 times as much as this one's going to cost.
let's say $50 to $500 is that's the difference. In an instrument like this, the small risk that the heat press won't last a tremendously long time is worth it, because you can heat press it 5 more times if you needed to.
Not 9 more times and still have to do it.
Yeah, quite a few more. So 9 more times. That's right, but that's not our plan. But all right, well, very cool.
Yeah, obviously step 1 is heat pressing it once, and then the second step is looking at it and saying, oh, well, that didn't work, and then you heat press it even more. Or sometimes you're like, oh, now I need to press it the other way. So
heat pressing is not an exact science.
it's a little bit of touchy-feely kind of a...
Yeah. How much heat for how long, how much clamping pressure to put on it in what direction, and you really have to take an educated guess and err on the side of caution and see what your results are, and keep doing it till you get what you want.
Everybody here does it differently.
Yeah. And we have several different heating elements and ways to clamp it up. There are a number of different ideas that you could approach. All right. Thanks, Mike. Very cool. Moving right along. say hello to Paul. Paul Schatzko, everybody.
Hey, Joe.
How you doing,
Hey,
Paul?
Pretty good.
I'm gonna come around the other side there. So
Just getting ready to start working on this Gibson Les Paul. It's kind of a limited edition candy apple red with gold hardware. Pretty nice guitar. This guy has a lot of fret wear on there. I don't know if you want to get a close up on the frets on here, but and he was complaining about the nut on this guitar. It's very, the slots in the nut are too wide for the strings that he wants to use, so I'm going to put a different nut on there.
and of course, that nut is made out of brass.
Yeah,
He's
gonna-
choosing
he wants
to
put
different.
a bone nut on there. So.
Mm-hmm. So that's a good thing to mention. Brass nut versus a bone nut. In general, we prefer bone nuts here in the
Yeah.
shop because it is hard enough so that it wears good and dense enough so that it gives you a good sustain and a good. It doesn't lose a lot of energy that when you part the energy to the string and it travels down the string and into either end. But a brass nut, of course, is even denser
Right.
and harder and gives you even more sustain, quite probably. But there's a downside to it.
Well, looks wise, you know, a lot of people think the brass nut's a little dated looking on a modern guitar. You know, a lot of 70s guitars have brass nuts on them.
Well, it sounds metallic. It can be too sharp, so too harsh, not any warmth left. That's why we like the bone, because it's hard enough to get you a good bit of sustain and a nice ringing, solid tone to your open notes, but it's not too harsh. It's not too metallic.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Should
right.
be a fun one.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thanks, Paul.
Yep.
Oh, you came through that way. That's sweet. Here we have Steve Olson. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Joe.
How
Hi,
are you?
Juan.
How are you today?
Oh, dandy, thanks.
Sandy, thanks. He's got himself
This
a bass
is
here. Is it a Fender bass? It
It's-
kind of looks like it
yeah.
was a Fender bass.
it started out as a Fender bass. It's still a Fender bass.
Technically, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a 1958 precision bass, and someone's done a fair amount of work defenderizing it a little bit. You can still see that there's the date on the end of the fingerboard, end of the neck. So logo's gone, finish has been stripped off, would have been a two-color sunburst. Has an anodized pickguard that's been painted because it probably got pretty chewed up playing it over the years.
Nice little plug
Yeah,
there.
I'm not sure what the stickers were. It had one on the headstock. I think that's what that was too, probably. So yeah, we're getting ready to consign it, sort of as is, with making it playable and getting it set up.
Well, it's still got, a Fender neck and
The original
Fender.
pickups.
Fender pickups. Yeah. So it could be a real good player's guitar because you're getting a Fender instrument without having to pay for the name in one
Yeah,
manner
it
of speaking.
sounds great the way it is, but if you wanted to restore it and you wanted to take the black off the anodized guard, really sunburst it, it'd
Be a lot of work.
be a lot of work, but it'd be worth it. It's a nice lightweight body for a P bass. I mean, it's saying something. So if you got to wear it all night, that's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thanks, Steve.
Sure.
Now let's visit Stretch. A little warning there that we were coming over.
Thanks
What
for
you
the
got for
warning.
us, man?
Wow, it's an Arm Anderson banjo.
Cool.
Something that I was working on. It had, it came in and it had a really low action. It was down. I was like half that. And then the other thing that was going on with that low action, I also had a really low,
Ah, yes.
bridge. It's
Less than a half-inch
it's
bridge.
less than a half inch,
Yes.
definitely.
So it's definitely been cut down a fair
So
amount.
the
yeah.
string angle coming off, it was almost flat coming off here going. Because
You can imagine. See if this were on there. The string would come from there over top there with barely any downward tension on that
yeah,
bridge.
it wasn't. It's you got the neck, the fingerboard going over here, which kind of raises that up, and it wasn't a good scenario. So we reset. I reset the neck on it. dowel stick, which involves taking the neck off. We actually steam this dowel rod. It's plugged into the end of the neck here, into a round hole. We steam that off and take that out. We work the end of the dowel stick and clean everything up. We cut the heel at a different angle and try to get a really good fit there, what everybody wants for your best tone, and plug it all back together, glue it up, and turned out real nice. It's got a good action, about 4:30 seconds or slightly under on the treble side, and yeah,
beautiful,
it works, and it's a beautiful
neck.
banjo too. Yeah, it's
it's
really
got
something.
Amazing inlay and engraving in that inlay. And,
Yeah, it's
you
really
saw
clean work.
Saw the back side of the neck with some really interesting carving. Sort of a
Little moon up here, stars shining down.
very much in a Vega style, but some unique, different inlays there. But that's beautiful
Hand
carving,
carved here,
and the
that
heel is a very
is-
unique shape.
This is unique, and I really like that.
Yeah,
That was kind of nice.
nice color to it.
It's kind of scary working on it being so nice.
Well, it definitely takes some extra care there.
It definitely does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So, and that one will be up for sale here fairly
This
soon.
is coming right up.
Yeah, this will be consigned here pretty soon. R.M. Anderson Banjarine. So it is a short scale instrument
Yeah, 24 scale, 24-inch scale on that.
as opposed to like a regular banjo 26.
26, yeah.
26. So is it tuned the same?
No, it is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Coming up.
There you go, folks. That's what we're working on in the shop here at Elderly Instruments. Thanks for checking us out this afternoon. We'll be back next week as always. Remember to like us and share us on Facebook. And take care, and we'll see you soon.